Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I'm going to talk about mind mapping, something I've known about for a while, but it's not so well known. So, and I will be presenting mind mapping using mind mapping. I will be discussing what mind mapping is, what its uses are, its history, and techniques for using mind mapping. So first of all, what is mind mapping? Mind mapping is not AI, nothing to do with AI. It is also not neural net, although the two terms do sound similar. They are very different things. I'm familiar with both. I can tell you they are not at all the same. What mind mapping is a way to organize your ideas and take notes. You can develop notes by adding to the mind map. You start with a central topic in the center, in this case, mind mapping, and you have sub-ideas that extend from it, radiate from it. And it should be fairly simple. It's a fairly simple concept, although it might be new, but the concept itself is fairly simple. And then you go from topics to subtopics and further subtopics. The data, the words, are structured and everything is in its context. So you connect the lines from what the thing connects to as it radiates out. And there's nothing stopping you from adding a new entry closer to the center, except space on the page. It is structured hierarchically, and it is categorized because you have things as subtasks or sub-ideas of other ideas. So now, what are some uses for mind mapping? A big one is brainstorming, whether you're in a group brainstorming or whether you're individually brainstorming. It's good for collecting aleatory ideas because something might occur to you and it doesn't go necessarily with what the last idea was. It's very easy to jump to a different area of the mind map and just add that idea where it belongs. It's also good for note-taking, especially if you're listening to a speaker who's not necessarily staying on topic and might be jumping around or jumping back and forth. Traditionally, if you take notes normally, it's hard to insert in the right place or you're taking the notes out of order. But the mind mapping allows you to add the note where it goes in whatever order the speaker says it. So it's easy to insert and you can jump around. It is very effective for paper, as I'll cover later. You can use computers, but I think the highlights of mind mapping stand out when you're using paper or a whiteboard or something where you're actually writing. And this speech, I developed this speech using mind map. I started with the mind mapping and decided what do I want to talk about. And the ideas did not come to me in the same order that I'm presenting them. I wrote them down as I thought of them on a mind map. So now some history of mind mapping. It was first developed in the 3rd century or something like this from the 3rd century. And it was used by Da Vinci and Newton. But the modern incarnation that we have comes from a book published in 1974 by Tony Buzan. The title of the book was Use Your Head. So some techniques for mind mapping. First, it's important to keep things terse, as you see I've done here. Using keywords is helpful for that and important, or summaries. Using pictures is encouraged, welcome. You see I have the light bulb for ideas. You can do more. Again, if you're not doing it electronically, you might draw a little sketch of something you were thinking about if that would help you remember it. You can use colors. Having colored pencils or pens or markers is very handy in this. You could use that to categorize things further or make stand out. You can circle ideas. So it's not rigid. You can add a circle, attach things, maybe showing a line. If there's no room in the one area on the paper, you could draw a long line to connect it somewhere else if you have to. There is software to help with mind mapping. Again, I think it is less useful on a computer, but there are definitely advantages and times when it is useful. And so with the software, there's commercial software and there's free software. Some of the free software is available on the web, and which means you don't even have to install anything to use it. And it is easy to take that mind map and convert it to an outline if you wanted to on paper, because now that you have everything, I would use a computer and type in, and you can indent if you want or go in order and go around the mind map to figure out the order of the things you have. And just to show you, this is what my mind map looked like for this speech. Not neat. You may not be able to read my handwriting. Maybe some of you can, but it was only important to me to read it. You can see mind mapping in the middle, and I have the what and the uses, the history, technique, and this is pretty much what I presented in my presentation, and coming from paper to visual aids. Thank you very much.